Baltimore club music. Remix!
Vinyl Esquire.
The podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends. Vinyl Esquire with DJ Rip.
You're now listening to the legendary Vinyl Esquire. Vinyl Esquire.
DJ Class in it, Mr. West in it. We done told you, mom, cause now you know this. DJ Class in it, Mr. West in it.
You're now listening to the legendary Vinyl Esquire. Vinyl Esquire. Vinyl Esquire. Vinyl Esquire. Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, the podcast that delivers culture, truth, music. Would you join me, please, in welcoming DJ Rip?
Put your fucking hands up! Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, and my name is DJ Rip, and Vinyl Esquire is the DJ podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends. So without further ado, I would like to welcome to Vinyl Esquire, the legendary DJ, producer from Baltimore. I would like to introduce and welcome to Vinyl Esquire, the legendary DJ Class.
Rip, what up, Rip, what up, Rip, what up, Rip, what up, everybody? What's good?
Hey man, I'm good. Class, how you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing wonderful, man. Having a good time out here. Working on the music too, by the way.
Yeah, I know you got a new record, and we're going to get into that. No question about it. So how's the family? How's life? Everything good?
Oh man, the family is good. Everything is good. You know, I'm on the West Coast now. I'm not in Baltimore anymore, and I'm not in Atlanta. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona now. So, you know, I'm out here, you know, getting it popping and doing my thing.
Wonderful, wonderful. You know what? I didn't even realize that. So it's a little early for you out there right now?
Yeah, it's early, man, but it's all good. I get up pretty early. You know, I'm on my grind as usual. So, yeah, I still try to get up on East Coast time.
No question. Salute to my brother, Rampage, who plugged us in together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to Rampage. You know, he's doing this thing, too.
Yeah, man, that's my brother, man. We work together a lot. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Absolutely. So Class, I want to thank you for allowing me to interview you on Vinyl Esquire. As I said before, this is the DJ podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends. You're a legendary club DJ from Baltimore. So let's go ahead and get right to it. I want to take it back to the beginning for DJ Class. So Class, can you tell me who or what made you want to be a DJ?
You know what, man? I know it's gonna sound a little cliche, but one of the guys that kind of did it for me had to be Grandmaster Flash, but also DJ Red Alert. For me, it was DJ Red Alert. I'll tell you why. DJ Red Alert in my mind, he put out the first mixtape ever. Do you remember the record he put out?
I absolutely do. He used to do the reggae compilations.
Yeah.
I think it was, I don't know if it was on Next Plateau. I don't remember the label exactly.
It was Next Plateau.
Yes, sir.
On Next Plateau. Let me tell you what he did. He, of course, it was all original music, and what he ended up doing was one of my favorite groups ever, and I know some of y'all might be a little too young for this. My favorite group out there has got to be the Ultramagnetic MCs.
Absolutely.
All right. So he had on there this record called Feeling It. Anybody that knows me, they know the very first record I ever made, I used the same beat to Feeling It when I did Classes in Session. The original record Classes in Session, I used the drums to Feeling It by Ultramagnetic Mercedes. And I got all that from Red Alert. He was the reason why I wanted to even be a DJ.
Wow. Yeah. Uncle Red, you know, he's incredible. No question about it. Yeah, salute to the legendary DJ Red Alert. So Class, talk to me about your early days. You know, how was it, you know, like in Baltimore for you? You know, what year would you say you started DJing, and what was your first DJ name?
Oh, wow. Okay, so it sounds like you know my history already.
Okay, so, I know a little bit. You know, I'm okay. Go ahead.
So check this out. My very first DJ name was DJ Roxy. That's the first thing.
Okay.
I was DJ Roxy, and what ended up happening was a couple of my friends was like, man, you know, it's really weird. Like they say, oh man, you got a lot of class with you, so used to call yourself DJ Class, but it was another guy on the west side named DJ Class also. We ended up being good friends. We battled for the name, and I won. So I started calling myself DJ Class from that point. And that was early, man. That was, 1986 maybe? 86. So, y'all can tell I got a little age on me. But yeah, in 1986, I started calling myself DJ Class, and I started making records right around 1989 was my first record. I was DJing at Morgan State University, WEAA. Shout out to Vinny V, Greg Boogie. Shout out to George the Track Layer, my man Big Groove. It was all the guys that was there DJing with me. And we had a good time, man. We had a real good time. We was banging out hip hop. We were the only hip hop show, probably the only hip hop show in Baltimore at that time, because the other stations were still playing everything else, and they never really had a show dedicated to hip hop. So, shout outs to Morgan State University, WEAA 88.9. We did our thing. We had a good time, but that was how I did that thing then, and I wasn't even really into Baltimore club music, because that's really what I'm a part of, Baltimore club music.
Right.
That was just getting started around that same time too, Baltimore club music. So as we were doing our thing, if anybody that knows Frank Ski, DJ Frank Ski, he was a legend in the town for playing and putting out Baltimore club music as well. And basically what he did was started paving the way for house music and dance music. And the second I started hearing it, I got into it heavy. I couldn't do nothing else. I was just, making records. That was the times of, for some of the DJs, Doodoo Brown, Miss Tony, Vaughn Mason, all those cats that was making dance music. So that's what kind of got me inspired to actually produce other music besides hip hop music.
Got you. Okay, so what does Frank Ski mean to that area and to house music to you?
Oh man, Frank Ski is okay. So Frank Ski is definitely one of the pioneers, but it's a little bit different than that. I'm going to say some of the first people who make like Baltimore club music would have to be like DJ Scotty B, Sean Caesar, DJ Boolman, KW Griff, DJ Techniques. Rod Lee came a little later. He's a legend as well, but he's younger than us, so he kind of got started a few years after and made a big splash. Aaron LaCrate, way younger, but he also was able to move out of the city and get the sound going other places. I mean, it's a lot of it. It's kind of too many to name, but
sure.
I'm doing the best I can. So if I don't mention them, anybody hear this, they don't hear your name. Trust me, I know you're there.
Right, right. Well, what I'm trying to do, Class, is just paint this picture of this early Baltimore scene, right? Because, of course, you got hip-hop going crazy, right? You're on the East Coast, and
right.
But I want to paint the picture for this house, this Baltimore scene, and what it really looked like at that time in Baltimore for you all. You're a DJ, right? So you were clearly in college, and you did the college radio. Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Okay, got you. So talk to me a little bit more about the scene, that Baltimore scene. You got Frank Ski, who's paving the way, and so many more of you. How did it, it cultivate and come into that, what we now call Baltimore club music?
Rip, check this out. I'm going to say something that no other DJ from Baltimore or anywhere else is going to say. Trust me, when I say this, it's going to be very much argumentative, but I'm telling you the facts. Okay?
Okay.
Baltimore club music is a mixture of house music and also the booty shake music from down south. So if you remember like Luke, Two Live Crew, you remember what's the other group? What's the other guys? Poison Posse, all those kind of guys who make those records.
Oh, you're talking about Poison Clan.
Poison Clan, I'm sorry, Poison Clan.
Yep.
Magic Mike, all those guys, right?
Yes, sir.
Doing a booty shake sound. We talking about that sound, and we kind of sort of mixed the two sounds together. So those are the songs that we played early on, and we catch a few songs in between there from like London, the import records that we would get. So we talking about Blaps Posse, we talking about the Dynamic Governors, we talking about Nicolette. I hope I'm not losing too many people. Also like the Chicago sound. Marshall Jefferson, Fast Eddie, those are the records that we played in the club.
Okay.
And before long, It took a few of these guys to say, we want to make our own sound. So we got guys like the Equalizer, like I said, DJ Scotty B, who also made records, Sean Caesar, who also made records, myself, Tap, rest in peace to Tap. Tap was one of the ones who made some of the biggest Baltimore records ever. I don't know if you remember the record. Shake that up, girl. Make that
Yes.
Okay, that was Tap. But here's the deal. Here's the thing. Rip, the one guy who I'd say was the guy that really made Baltimore club music. It's a guy named Chico. Faustin is his real name. He calls himself Chico. He's the guy that made the song Funk That. Dun, 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 dun. Remember that record?
Yeah.
Funk That? Okay. He made a record. Can I say the right word? I don't want to curse on your platform.
Well, we're going to have to, because every one of your songs has a curse word in the title, so we ain't got no choice. But go right ahead.
Okay, so Faustin, Chico, made a record for Tap called Dick Control. Do you remember that record?
I think
Dick Control, boom, boom. You got to have Dick Control.
Yes.
Okay, so that record is the very first record ever, Baltimore club record, that had that infamous boom, 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 digga, boom, 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 digga. The very first record that had that sound. The very first record. Nobody has ever done that beat, that drum, that pattern before that record. That was done by Sagat. Everybody would know the name Sagat. So Sagat is the one that produced that record with DJ Techniques. Even the engineer, I met the engineer, his name is George Haggard George. Those are the guys that did the very first, what we call Baltimore club music. They're the first ones to ever do it. The first ones.
Wow,
okay?
Wow, incredible.
The first record that had that.
Incredible. So
nobody would admit it, but that's the one.
So I want you to break a couple more things down here, and let me tell you a little backstory for me. What brings this home? And I'm from the Midwest. I'm originally from Omaha, Nebraska. Okay, and I've been DJing since 1984, 85, right? And in about 87, 88, there was this crew. Well, it was really a couple guys. They were in the military. Right. And one of them was named D Smooth, who's now DJ Detroit, and another one, DJ Stu. OK, and DJ Stu is from Baltimore. And when they came here, that's the first time we ever heard house music. Right. We were hearing house from Detroit and house from Baltimore. So I just remember DJ Stu came to Omaha, Nebraska in the military. They were doing this dance called the Schoolcraft. I don't know if that's a thing there. I don't know. But they were doing this dance called the Schoolcraft, and they were always playing house music. And Stu is from Baltimore, so I wanted to salute DJ Stu because he's from Baltimore, and he's really who put us on, from my area, house music. But he came from Baltimore. So the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because, this is the reason why I wanted to interview you, is because I know you've put out these Baltimore club, hits, right? And we're going to get into the hits. But I wanted to break this down for this vast history of Baltimore, because when you hear it, you could tell it's infused with hip hop, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Super fast hip hop. And now you're breaking it down where it's like house music meets booty shake, and it had a baby, and it's called Be More Club, right?
Be More Club, right.
Now, so class, can you break down for me, in your opinion, the difference between Be More Club music, Chicago house, Detroit house, Jersey, and New York? Can you kind of just break down in your definition the different versions of house music?
Okay, in my opinion,
sure.
Listening to Detroit, I'm gonna start with Detroit house. All of them got the four on the floor, so all of them got the all of them got the four on the floor. Big bass, big drum. Detroit, I would even say that Detroit house has the biggest influence on EDM music because it was very electronic. You got your keys, you got your synthesizers, you got your stuff, you even got your vocals, a lot of instrumental. But if you listen to EDM music, a lot of that, you could tell that was probably stemming from a lot of Detroit house.
Okay.
Right? Chicago house, very melodic. Some of your best singers sang on Chicago House. It was very melodic, more like Chicago House remind me of what, if the church was all upbeat, that's what the church would be, Chicago House. Some of the best vocal records ever, like especially like house music, House Nation, Working to the Bone. I think that's Chicago as well.
Right.
Those guys very melodic. So you can catch a guy that's going to play some really good pianos over those beats. So the drums are still the same, very good drums, but they got these singers. They got uplifting lyrics. They really take you to church.
Gotcha.
Chicago.
Okay.
Right. Now, in the club, we nasty. We nasty, brother. So a lot of the stuff that we did, we'll take some of that Chicago and some of the melodic, some of the digital, and again, of course, hip hop. We love the bass to be big, but we talking out smack. So think about this. My second song, the second record I ever put out was the beginning of Unruly Records. And anybody that know Baltimore Club, they know about Unruly Records. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute. There's a lot of history I have with them.
Sure.
But Unruly Records, first record to date, was a record where one side of mine was, what's up, baby? Won't you holler at him? What's up, baby? The other side of it was, girl, you know you got the bomb and God, so throw your hands in the air. Nick, you know you can. So it was always filthy a little bit because that's how we were in the club. It's all kind of sort of the time where we're moving out of Public Enemy into NWA. It's raunchy, it's upbeat, it's hard, it hits you in the chest, that kind of music. So we kind of took a little bit of all those styles and made our own style. But those are the difference. Our stuff is nasty. So you can expect to hear a song that's going to say something crazy. Another record that I did was called Tear the Fucking Club Up, East Side, where the fuck you at? Let me see your. So all those songs were based around the rhythm, the beats, and the drums. But we had something to say, and it wasn't always nice.
Got it. Okay. So, it's kind of similar to the crunk sound that came out of Atlanta, right?
Exactly.
Which is why you and Lil Jon did a record together later on, but we'll get to that. Okay. So talk to me a little bit about when did you get into producing music, not just being a DJ and playing the music?
The reason why I got into producing is because I tried to work with several producers. And for me, I'm the kind of person where I don't want to talk about it. I want to be about it. Whether I win or lose, whether I pass or fail, I'm going to try. So I wasn't really into that. I just wanted to DJ. And I just kept running across people who just didn't either have the desire to do it or they just wasn't following through. So I just started getting some equipment. I started getting more equipment. Before you know it, I was doing beats. And it was all really out of the fact that I had nobody else to do them. I had ideas and nobody would do the ideas with me. Most people would tell you that I know everybody, but really I'm a loner. So I don't have a crew or a clique, but I'm good with everybody. So most people that know me, they love me, and I'm just a loner in that sense. However, I do work with everybody. I have been, and I still do now. Anybody that want to work with me, I will work and get stuff popping. And that's what it was then. I started buying a drum. I bought a drum machine because I had nobody else to really do it for me. So instead of me just keep on talking about wanting to do a record, I just started doing them myself. And like I said, that's when I made my first record called Classes and Sessions. I knew I always wanted to rap a little bit and sing a little bit, and all of a sudden I was just in a position where even with Unruly Records, it was one of the things where they were up doing stuff, but they just weren't Unruly Records at the time. And when I came in, I just had a bunch of ideas. And now I have a drum machine. Oh, it was no stopping me then. I was going to get all my ideas.
So what equipment were you using to produce the records?
Man, I think I started out with a Casio SK1.
Okay,
it was a keyboard that I found at Toys R Us.
Wow. All right. Okay. Wow. And then you graduated, I'm assuming?
Yeah. I graduated to, I ended up getting a mixer with a loop on it.
Right.
And then I ended up getting, what's that drum machine? I think it was like it was actually a Roland, like a Roland 505. After the 505, then I can't remember all the stuff. I was buying tons of stuff then, but
right. Gotcha.
I started with an SK1, Casio SK1. Only had 4 seconds of sample time, and even with that, I had to play the record fast, sample it, and then down key it so it could play the whole.
I'm familiar with it. I had the same thing. I had the mixer with the sampler, all of that too. No question about it. Okay, so talk to me about your first record. I believe you dropped it in 91 maybe, and talk to me about Unruly Records. Talk to me about your first records.
Okay. Well, my very first record was in 89, and it was independent. I did independent. I roamed the streets. I went to New York and other places and got my vinyl in the stores. It was called Classes in Session. Sub-Bass Records was my label at the time.
Okay.
My dad helped me out. He gave me some money so I can live my dream, and I did pretty well. But I think to date, I probably sold about 10,000 copies. It took about maybe 10 years, but I sold about 10,000 copies.
Okay.
But now you can go to Discogs and you can see that same $5 record for like $200. So
nice.
People
Okay.
still have them in the plastic. My very first record. But my very first record was Unruly Records. Okay, so for those who don't know about Unruly Records, those are basically that's the staple of like you go, if you think of New Orleans, you think of Cash Money, and you think of No Limit. Well, in Baltimore, when you think of Baltimore club music, you think of Unruly.
Okay, got you.
Those are the guys that pretty much put out the most records as labels. Sean Caesar, DJ Sean Caesar quickly went from DJ, producer to just label guy. He was the guy that run the label, him and DJ Scotty B. And Scotty B, a lot of people know him as an active DJ even to the day, but those two were partners for that. They had put out a few records before. They had a record with a set of guys called Runaway Slaves. And it was called Where the Hoes At. Like I told you, it's all Baltimore Club. We have something to say. So it's always nice.
Okay,
but,
cool.
Yeah, Where the Hoes At. But then the first Unruly record was mine, which is called What's Up, Baby. What's Up, Baby. And on the flip side was God.
Now was What's Up, Baby? Was that in 95?
No, What's Up, Baby was in 91.
Okay, got
91.
you.
End of 91. In the end of 91, something like that.
Okay, got you. So talk to me about What's Up, Baby, and then you had a follow-up, Tear the Club Up. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, I'm sorry. Let me go back a little bit. It was What's Up, Baby. It was Bomb Cop. No, I'm sorry. Not What's Up, Baby and Bomb Cop. It was What's Up, Baby and Roll That Shit. Roll that shit, like that shit, smoke it. That was the first. I'm sorry. Bomb Cop was not the first one. That was the second.
Okay.
Those were the first. Those are the first songs that Unruly as a company actually put out. After that, we continued on with some more. Then Bomb Cop came after that. Bomb Cop, Dumb B, a couple other records. I did Come Quick See, which I sampled Tupac. I sampled Tupac, Hail Mary after that. But along the way, while I'm doing my thing, they put out so many more records. Like, okay, I put out some records, but like DJ Booman and Jimmy Jones and KW Griff, they put out 3 or 4 times the amount of records I put out. They put out tons of records. So it was like energy that we kind of moved amongst each other where, along with me putting out records, there were several other people putting out records. Again, Tap had put out records. He put out Shake That Ass. He put out Dick Control. Then he put out Coochie With Me. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but that was also a big record too. Coochie With Me was a big record. It was just a lot going on with the sound because at that point we felt like that was the thing to do. We would take almost like, okay, so Baltimore club music took a shape similar to how DC go-go is, how reggae was in the early back of the day. You know how
right.
Reggae, like with dance hall, if a hit record came out, then came the dance hall version.
Right, absolutely.
Go-go was the same way. A hit record come out, then here comes the go-go version. Because basically what DC was, and a lot of people confuse the two, they think DC and club music is the same. It is so far from it.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Like oil.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely different, no question.
That's totally different. It's not even the same. We just live close to each other. That's all.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting is I lived in DC for about 6 or 7 years. And DC and Baltimore don't even get along a lot, and it ain't even that far away from each other, right? It's like it's a totally different vibe in DC than it is in Baltimore, right? And because I actually lived in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I was on the Maryland side of DC, and Yeah. I mean, but again, phenomenal cities and two completely different music scenes with the go-go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Percussions, live bands. And then you got Baltimore with this up-tempo, grungy, hip hop, dirty version of house music, right?
Yes. And so basically, how everybody had their rendition of whatever the hits were, we did the same thing. And that's probably why a lot of like DJ Techniques, DJ Rod Lee, DJ Booman, DJ KW Griff, Diamond K, DJ Pat, all the bigger well-known DJs who made music. The reason why they did so many records is because a lot of times what they would do is take whatever the hits are. SWV make a big record, all of a sudden it's a club version. Missy makes a record, it's a club version of it. Nelly makes a record, it's a club version of it. Lil Jon, they killed Lil Jon. Anytime he do a record, you hear a new version that's like Baltimore Club. So,
gotcha.
We fell into that as well, which is a good thing to keep the music going. But I'm more of I want to make more original stuff. Early on, learning from the people who I learned from, it was easier for me to make my own creation. And if it hit, I get to keep all the money.
Right.
So, and it's a sore topic that I would like to bring up, but I mean, it is neat. The conversation need to be had that still we have a lot of people in Baltimore who make Baltimore club music that just want to sample everything. And in the 80s, you could get away with it. In the 90s, they tighten it up. Now you can't put a record out without somebody knowing that you use their stuff and they coming for you.
Right. No question.
So A, you're going to put it out and you're going to share. A, you're going to put it out and they're going to take it down. I mean, B, C, they're not going to let you do it at all. Either they're going to do it, they're going to get a percentage of it or get all of it.
Right.
And I've seen people who put out records and the original owners and publishers come back and take all the money. All of it.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about it is we're all DJs, so we're all producing records and taking things and putting them together, right? And because all these records sound like DJ records, you know what I mean? They sound like mashups or remixes or just a different version of it, So but a lot of it became classics. But you're right. So would you say between 89 and 99, which is a 10-year span, this is where you put out, like What's Up Baby, Tear the Club Up, and all your other records, right? From like 89 to 99, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about, now again, I don't want to get your timeline wrong, but let's talk about in about the year 2000, after you were making these club singles, right? You worked on a film soundtrack. You also had another single called Next to You, and then you made a gospel hip-hop album under the name D-Class. Talk to me about this.
Okay. At the time, there was a lot going on in my life personally. And make sure I get the timeline right. When I did Next to You, I was in Atlanta already. I moved to Atlanta in 2000.
Okay.
I would never forget it, man. May 2000. Okay. In 1995, I opened up my own record store. Most of us DJs all worked in somebody's record store.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I decided to open my own. I found me 500 square feet. I found distributors. I started making my own mixtapes without a cut given to Inner City Records. Well, we all pretty much used to work at Inner City Records at some point.
Okay.
So I had my own shop, and that was going well. And I got caught up in some mess with one of my family members.
So
where the police was on him.
Your shop was in Baltimore.
Yeah, shop was in Baltimore.
Okay, go ahead.
Greenmount 31st.
Okay.
So I end up getting arrested for like having my front tag crooked or something stupid. Typical, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm on probation for 5 years. This was in 1997.
Wow.
They allowed me to get off probation early. I was doing well. My probation officer was up the block, so it was nothing to go see him. He could always come and check on me. I was good. I never got in trouble. So I don't know how I got in that trouble either, but whatever. He ended up coming by. I paid my money. They let me go in 3 years. That was 2000. The second I got off probation, I was like, I'm out of here. And that's what I did. I took a trip to New Bern, North Carolina, and then I ended up taking a trip to Atlanta, and I still got the return flight because I never went back.
Wow. Okay.
I never went back. I went to Atlanta on a trip and just never came back. I looked into an apartment. They approved me right away. $200 down payment, something crazy like that. And I stayed. That's when I got a phone call from DJ Frank Ski. He moved out of Baltimore and was on V103 in Atlanta. And he was there and found out I lived in Atlanta. He knew my work. He just didn't know that I was an engineer. So I do like my own mixes, my own mastering, all my stuff, right?
Okay.
He didn't know that I did that. So when he found out that, I mean, he knew I was a producer. He knew I did records. He decided to ask me if I wanted a job in radio. So that's what I did. I ended up working for V103. He hired me. He was syndicated at the time. I did his production and imaging. And that's how I got my feet planted in Atlanta.
Wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. I started doing production for Frank Ski, Frank Ski Morning Show. And from there, I continued to make records. I had been through, at that point, I had a child as well. So my son ended up moving in with me. I started getting heavy into the church. My dad started getting sick. You know, my dad was already sick, but like worse. So I felt some kind of way. I ended up doing a few more club records, and then I took a break. I took a break for about 5 years, maybe 6 years. Just trying to get a hold of my life and get things in order.
Right.
And that's inspired me to do the Book of Daniel. So I ended up doing the Book of Daniel because even at the time with gospel music, I didn't feel like they had super talented hip hop people in the game. They were starting to come up, but they were always a little bit on the fence. So it was either rappers that wasn't really good rappers. They just understood that we could have hip hop in the church. And then we had other guys who were just kind of singing. They were looking to do ministry a different way. So I figured I'd throw my hat in and give my contribution to, at the time they called it Holy Hip Hop. And that's when I made the Book of Daniel. So yeah, getting myself together, getting organized, getting myself, just getting myself into the Word.
Gotcha.
I made that project. It did pretty well. I toured a little bit and met some wonderful people in the game. I ended up, we never released it, but I ended up doing a song, almost finished doing a song with Dietrich Haddon and, I worked with, just a couple people. I was able to work on something with Bernice King. We never put that out either. Canton Jones, he and I was trying to work on something. Just a lot of the people recognized what I did. We tried to work on some stuff, and none of it really materialized too much. And then I took another break.
Right.
I took another break.
Okay, so hold on. So this was a gospel hip-hop album. You produced and rhymed on it, and you went by D-Class, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then you took another break, right?
For about 3 years, yeah.
Okay.
For about 3 years, I took another break.
So maybe this brings me up to about 2008, and you get back into making club music. Is this right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got back into making club music. Mind you, I'm still working with Frank Ski. So at that point, I became like relentlessly interested in auto-tune. Because, T-Pain was only, 2007 maybe?
Right.
Maybe 2006, 2007 when he made I'm in Love with a Stripper. I'm Sprung, one of those. That's like 05, 06.
Yeah, that's about right. Yep.
So everybody's now getting auto-tune, and everybody's trying to work on auto-tune. So I figured I'd throw my hat in auto-tune. And I'm sitting there messing around, and I haven't talked to anyone. Like I haven't talked to Unwood Records, haven't been back to Baltimore. This was probably, I think I went back one time. A gentleman named Chris Hopkins, he was in charge of doing like what they call Artscape in Baltimore. Artscape, which is a festival they throw every year. And he invited me to come up to Artscape. It was in 2008. And he paired me up with DJ K Swift to get on stage. So we did the big stage. She played music. I just kind of did my songs. Next to You had been out for a while now. So Next to You came out in like 2001.
Right.
So just before I did the Book of Daniel, that's when I did Next to You.
Okay, got you.
So I performed the song. Everybody's loving it. I'm talking to Swift. I'm ready to drive back home. We talk about connecting because she also liked the Book of Daniel. She was like, I want to get into more gospel stuff. I think what you did was dope. We should hook up and do some stuff. Now, mind you, DJ K Swift is a person where she's huge. I mean, incredibly huge in Baltimore. Like, beyond huge in Baltimore. MTV is checking her out, all kind of stuff, right?
Right.
So we had this conversation, and this is someone that we didn't talk much, but we know each other. And finally, when we got a chance to really spend some time together, it was like, yo, we need to work on some stuff together. Cool, no problem. I get on the road. By the time I get back home, I hear the news that K-Swift died.
Yeah, rest in peace, K-Swift, no doubt.
Rest in peace, K-Swift. She died. By the time I got back to Atlanta, she had died.
Wow.
I'm broken up. The whole city's broken up by this. Right? So all of a sudden, I wanted to get back into club music. I wanted to do a tribute song to her. I really didn't have the words. I didn't know what to say. And especially because, and I'm just keeping it real, I'm keeping it real. A lot of people gravitated to, oh, I was the one that hung out with K-Swift. Everybody was on this whole I know K-Swift thing.
Right.
And I know that I wasn't him. I've seen her between the times we met way back in the day. We speak every time we see each other, but we didn't hang out. So I felt weird putting out a record talking about I miss you when everybody knows we wasn't hanging out like that. It wasn't like we was day-to-day talking and hooking up and all that other. We wasn't that.
Right.
But we were cool. So I didn't do that record. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. But then I ended up getting in the studio. Frank and I, we working on stuff. In fact, I'm going to tell you when I made I'm the Ish. I made I'm the Ish the same weekend that I did Frank Ski's vocals for the Wobble.
Wow.
Frank and DJ Mr. Collar Park.
Yep.
They came up with the concept back then. This had to be like 08, early 08, maybe even late 07.
Right.
Came with the concept, and Frank needed to record. I'm like, just record it right here. I mean, we got the mic, we got the vocals. Let's do it. Let's do it right here. I know how to use. We had Adobe Audition.
Right.
Nobody knew how to use it.
Absolutely.
Like a session.
Absolutely.
So, and then that's what all radios use. Most people use either Vegas or they use Adobe Audition. Here we go.
That's correct. Go ahead.
So I'm using Audition, and I find a way to record his vocals and sync it up with the beat that was given to me, by Smirk, Collar Parks. We did those vocals, sent it off. I think we did another little session of vocals, processed them, sent them off, right? Years later, the Wobble comes out, and it's like, wow. One of the biggest records in, like, the Black Circuit ever.
Absolutely.
And I'm proud to say I was a part of that.
Wow, wow. And by the way, I don't mean to cut you off, but most people don't even know Frank Ski's the one doing the vocals on the record, let alone you were a part of that. So that's dope. Go ahead.
Right, so they don't know that Frank Ski's, everybody in the club, let me see it. Yeah, nobody really knows that's Frank Ski. They know it's VIC's record.
Correct.
A lot of people don't know that VIC is Vic, and then the people don't know that Colin Park produced it either. A lot of people don't know that.
That's correct.
So Colin Park produced it. I'd help Frank out with his vocals. And by the way, for those who don't know, Frank Ski is also the voice on Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion song. There's some hoes in this house.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt. Because, Frank Ski had so many classic, Whores in His House, and Doodoo Brown, classic house records from B-More. No question.
Yes. So I'm sitting here, and I'm talking to him about, man, I got this auto-tune in this thing. So me doing the engineering, like a lot of the production and imaging for the Frank Ski, at the time it's called Frank and Wanda in the morning. So Frank Ski and Wanda Smith. He wanted to do more records, but of course he's busy. I'm sitting in the back room. I'm waiting for production to come in. I'll start playing around with auto-tune. All of a sudden, I'm just like, I got them diamonds on my neck, got Patron in my cup. And I just started there. The next day I came in, tacked a little more into it. And then I started working on a beat. And I felt like, this would be a great song. And remember I told you, Baltimore club music is very, very grimy. We say what we got to say. And usually it's not pretty.
Right.
So the original name to the song was Up in This Bitch. Because that sounded right for Baltimore club music. That sounded right.
Okay.
Up in This Bitch. So that's the name of the song. And I ended up getting home over a weekend, and I completed the rest of the song. But then it dawned on me, I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to be going more on the commercial side of things. So even though it was still filthy, but maybe I'm going to call it I'm the Shit.
Right.
It sounds a little better than Up in This Bitch.
a little better, sure.
A little better, right.
Right.
So here we go. I record the song. I got it sitting there. I didn't do anything with the song. It was just sitting there and just kept tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it. All of a sudden, I go out in my first run to play music. So another thing that people don't know that, I'm going to put it out there because people don't know. I end up meeting a gentleman by the name of Mario Harris. All right. Mario Harris used to be one of the biggest gay party promoters in all of Atlanta.
Okay.
Gay party.
Okay.
He met me at a fashion show one day and asked me to play music for him. I had no idea who he was. I had no idea what he did. I had no idea about nothing. He waited till 2 days before it's time for me to come play a party for him to tell me, well, I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to scare you off, but it's a gay party. And I said, man, gay people ain't never done nothing to me.
Right. Okay.
I'll come play it. I don't care. Like, look, I said, look, I'll play the party. I'm not afraid of that. You're going to pay me, right? And, of course, he paid me in advance just because he was nervous at the fact that I'm a straight guy, straight DJ, normal parties, and he wants me to play this gay environment. He turned a Friday night gig into a Friday. No, I'm sorry. He turned a Friday night gig into a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, day party, and Sunday night party. He gave me 5 days a week at premium pay. You feel me? So
right.
Not only was to a point where I was just like, look, let me get all this gay stuff out of my system. I just never had, how some people are like, oh, well, gay people, this gay. I never thought that. They people just like, just like me and you. They people. And I had a good time. I DJ'd. They loved my music. They appreciated me. They showed me by tipping me. So they always tipped me. They gave me, they gave me my props.
Right, right.
That was the first place I ever played I'm the Ish. And they lost it. They lost their mind. They lost their mind. That's when I knew I had something. When I knew I had something, because you can go to any place and play music, but as a DJ, if you can go into a gay environment and play a record, they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you this is good or this ain't good.
Gotcha.
They will tell you, especially if you ask them for it,
Sure.
So,
okay.
So I asked him, hey, what you think about that record? Oh, I love that record. You play it again? So once I knew I had something, Sean will tell it to you like this. I ain't heard from Sean in 4 or 5 years. Sean gets an email, and it says, he gets a text to say, open your email. Check this out. That's the way he explains it every time. Check your email. He checked it. He heard the song. He thought it was dope. He said, I'm going to give it to DJ J. Claxton. I'm going to give it to J. Claxton, and I'm going to give it to Quicksilver. Quicksilver and J. Claxton heard I'm the Ish and lost it. They said, man, what the hell is this?
Right, right.
J. Claxton jumped right on the radio. No PD permission or nothing. And he played it. People went berserk off the record. They loved the record. Like, they really loved the record.
Right, right, right. And this is the part that I remember, because I had moved to D.C. in 2009, and I was working in radio. I worked at KISS with Quicksilver. And I was also on the side helping run the Core DJs, which is the biggest DJ coalition in the music business at the time.
Shout out to Tony Neal.
That's correct. So I at the time, I'm running it. I'm doing all of the conferences all across the country with him, and I'm in D.C. Boom. I'm at KISS, and I remember Quicksilver bringing me the record. I'm the Ish, right? And and that's when I met you, I believe. Okay, so let's talk about this. All right, so I'm the Ish, or I'm the Shit, however you want to say it, is the name of this record. You put it out independently through Unruly, and then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you get a deal with Universal Records. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then this Universal Republic, right?
Yes,
and
Universal Republic.
And then the record starts blowing up to the point where there's multiple remixes. I mean,
yes.
you have versions with Kanye West, with Lil Jon, with Pitbull, Estelle, Paula Campbell, and who knows how many other ones. Talk to me about how the remixes, end up playing out with Lil Jon and Kanye, and how did this happen?
Okay, so what happened was, so there's a chain of events that happened. I'm going to try and make it short because it can be long. What happened was J. Claxton started playing the record on the Q, on 92Q. I think at the time, CeeLo, DJ CeeLo, was going back and forth between DC and Atlanta. I give him the record because we started getting cool. I always known CeeLo, but never got a chance to really talk to him until he came to V, where I was at the time. So We started bumping. I gave him the record. I don't know where he played it, but the story I hear is a gentleman that came and was saying, damn, I can't. A gentleman out of Shreveport, Louisiana, was in D.C. and heard it. Took it back to Shreveport. All right? He played in Shreveport. Then he took it to Vegas. DJ Phenom heard the record, asked for the record. Now this is things happening I don't even know about. I didn't pass the record to nobody but Jay Claxton. Phenom hears the record. He plays it in Vegas on the stations he's on. Phenom does a guest spot on Power 106 in LA. Yes ERT's show. So Yes ERT's is DJ Felly Fell and DJ Phenom.
Right.
Okay. Phenom plays it. People call him and say, can you play that again? From what they tell me, now they might be gassing me, but what they told me is they never had anybody ask to hear a song twice. Nobody ever called to say, can I hear something again? Out of all the good music going on there, nobody's ever asked to hear that. So they played it again. Somebody said, can I play it again? I think they said they played like 5 times in a row. New at 2. Yes, ERT's. New at 2. 5 times in a row. To the point where some young promoter decided he wanted to call and book me. Sean Caesar called me, told me, hey, you got to book it, man. It's $750. They're going to fly us out, put us in a room, $750. I'm like, man, that's great. I ain't never done a booking for a show.
Right.
And I've never done it for $750. You know, we get out there. I do an interview with Yes ERT's. I'm playing around. I'm joking. I never forget. I'm like, I don't think you understand. We go together now. You invited me to the show. We go together. So we played on that the whole show. And they played the record a couple times. After that, here comes the show. It's in Montebello, California. Still not sure exactly what it is. I'm going to look it up one day.
Right.
Went to the show. I thought it was going to be about 150, 200 people. They said it was a club with an outdoor little thing and, you know. Well, come to find out, these guys had heavily promoted it. So those 2 or 3 weeks later when I got there, it was like 3,000 people there.
Wow, okay.
At this point, I'm nervous. I'd never performed for 3,000 people before. So it's packed out, indoor, outdoor. They got screens up. I'm like, damn, I should have charged more. But anyway, I get there.
Right.
I get there, and I do my set of Baltimore stuff. They have no clue what I'm doing. They don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
They're dancing, though. They're having a good time. They like it, but they don't know it. All of a sudden, I got them diamonds on my neck, and the whole crowd sing the rest of the song. They sang the whole first verse.
Wow. That's dope.
You talk about somebody, that moment in life, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, brand new artist, brand new song, and everybody know the words to my song. I never experienced anything like that in my life. Like, never.
Incredible.
Never. So, at the time, there was a rep from Universal there. And we got to talking. And it was like, man, we would love to have you over here with us. And I was like, sure, let's talk about it. But at the time, you know, I know Frank. So Frank then called Kevin Lyles. Kevin Lyles called Sean Caesar. So now you got Kevin Lyles that want to get involved. You got Koch. They were turning from Koch to E1.
Mm-hmm.
So Koch had brought in Jim Jones, you know, from Cameron Jim Jones, that Jim Jones.
Right.
So he's trying to reach me. It was Atlantic, Universal, E1, all trying to get with me. And what sealed the deal is that Universal was like, yo, we can get Lil Jon. I'm a big Lil Jon fan.
Right.
Big Lil Jon fan.
Right.
So what sealed the deal for me was like, yo, let's roll with Lil Jon. He's going to do the remix, so let's roll with it. Let's roll with that. Even though Kevin Lyles was offering me a little bit more money, I was like, this situation seemed like it may work out better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and definitely Kevin Lyles has looked out for me many times in the past. So it was a tough decision to make, to roll with Universal instead of with Atlantic, because he was over there. I don't know what he was doing in Atlantic, but he was with Atlantic at the time.
Right.
So then I end up coming back home. When I got back home after doing that show, so we stayed out there a day before, a day after. When I came back, I got a call from Sean saying, hey, check your email. He sent me a video of Jermaine Dupri and Trey Songz in a studio in Atlanta making a video of the remix to I'm the Ish.
Wow.
Have you heard the one with Jermaine Dupri and Trey Songz?
I have, yes.
Okay, so that's really where all this really started. Even the record deal wasn't, like, it was just a girl talking. She saw the crowd. She thought it was cool. I think her name was Ayanna Gregory, something like that. She was just like, she thought it was a good record. She wanted to put it in, but I don't know if she knew people with the signing power. She was like a promotions kind of chick. I think she did like regional promotions out that way. So all of a sudden I did get a call from Universal, but that was because Jermaine Dupri and Trey Songz that did a video overnight. The next day, 500,000 views. This was in 2008, 500,000 views.
Right.
I was like, wow. So the YouTube was blowing up. Felly gave me a phone call. I think after he saw that, he gave a call because Diddy was like, yo, I want to do a remix. Fuck with us. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't know if it's God that did this or whatever, but I sent the session. I was trying to send a session to Felly Fell. It never got to him. I sent it overnight. I woke up the next morning. It was still spinning. The ball was still spinning. It never got to Felly, so it never got to Diddy. So at that point, I guess he must have felt like I didn't want to work with him. But 2 days after that, Universal scheduled a meeting with me. They told me what they could offer. I got everybody's offer, and that's when we decided we was going to roll with Universal Republics. And Universal was really the ones that was like, yo, we should name it I'm the Ish instead of I'm the Shit. And I was like, yeah, I already thought about that, but I'm Baltimore. I'm gonna keep it real.
Right.
I'm gonna keep it real.
Right.
It's like, you know what? Nah, I think you're right. I think maybe what I should do is call it I'm the Ish, and that's kind of how we got the blow up happening. Once the Lil Jon version came out, it's crazy.
Okay, so how did Kanye get involved?
The way Kanye got involved was, at this point, I picked up my first tour. It wasn't much of a tour, but it was a little something. I did like 10 dates with Far East Movement and LMFAO. And I was just kind of coming in when I can. I think they were the one that really had the tour, and they just put me in where they could. So it was the usual, me just being in LA and all up, all through Cali and all that kind of stuff. It was just kind of that thing. Whenever I could fit a date, I would.
Right.
So here we go. I go to one of the shows. We go to not the Hard Rock Cafe. What's the other place out there? Dang, what's the other place? Not the Hard Rock Cafe. Okay, it's one of those bars. Oh, the House of Blues.
Okay.
House of Blues.
Got you.
All right. House of Blues, not far from Hollywood. House of Blues. We're doing a show. Far East Movement, LMFAO, me, I think Jay Sean, a couple guys, right? That sound. That's what's happening. That particular sound was for that show. I meet Tom from MySpace.
No way.
I meet Tom from MySpace, and he invited me to a private party in Burbank.
Okay.
Okay, everybody's there. I'm running around and meeting people. This is when Heavy D was still alive. I met Heavy D.
Right.
That was a moment for me.
Right.
I'm a big Heavy D fan. So I met Heavy D. All right. All of a sudden, I see Kanye over there. And I'm like, oh, that's Kanye West. Oh, my God, I'm at the right party. I'm like, really? Once again, another moment was like, man, you can't tell me nothing. I'm at a party with Heavy D and Kanye West and all that. So I walk over to the DJ. Because, I'm green. I'm new. I don't know. I walk up to the DJ, and I introduce myself because he had played the record. So I walked up to him to thank him for playing the record. Just trying to get the plug in, see if he say my name, something like that.
Right.
Which he did. He did. Shout out to DJ Class. This is record right here. He in the building, blah, blah, blah. Instantly, I see Don C. He introduced himself. Don C's like, yo, Kanye want to meet you. Cool. We met. We talked about nothing, really nothing. But then, he was like, yo, I'm going to be in the studio tomorrow. Won't you come through? I said, cool, no problem. Maybe we can work on some of that B-more. So I love that B-more shit, man. That B-more shit, that song you got, that's the shit. No pun.
Right.
Then, before walking off, Kanye said something I'll never forget. He was like, hey, man, that Lil Jon version was dope, but you should have called me. I was like, wow. He said, that's just cool, but you should have called me. And I was like, wow, okay. I said, well, hey, what's up? Well, listen, we'll talk tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow.
Right.
So I get to the studio. It's a studio in Burbank as well. I get there. I think Dre used to own the studio. I don't know the name of it now, but it's changed a lot of names. Anyway, I was there, and part of the blow up for me, what I did was I started doing custom drops. I started doing custom drops of the song.
Okay, got you. Like a dub plate, but yes, I got
like
you.
A dub plate.
Yep.
Because I was like, man, that'd be great for every DJ because I know they'll play it then.
Of course.
If I put their name in the song. So I started with Jay Claxton. I went back to Jay Claxton, and I just sent it to him. And it was basically just, I got them diamonds on my neck, got Patron in my cup. DJ J Claxton's in here about to blow the party up.
Right.
And I just like, damn, that's a great idea. I'm gonna do that for every DJ. So, so I did. So I spent about 3 hours just doing that in that studio. This was all in Universal's dime. They knew I was hooking up with Kanye West. I don't know what they thought I was going to do, but they knew I was hooking up with Kanye West, so they paid for the studio.
Okay, gotcha.
Kanye West wasn't there. He wasn't there. Here we go, 3 o'clock. We getting there at 12 noon. 3 o'clock, Kanye West is not there. 4 o'clock, Kanye West is not there. 5 o'clock, Kanye West is not there. 6 o'clock, we ready to leave. We got till 8, though. So it's like, he ain't showing up. They laughing at me. They all, oh, Kanye ain't going to be here. He never shows up. That's what the engineers say. Yeah, Kanye always tell people he's going to be here. He never shows up. I'm like, cool. Well, we tried. At least we got some work done. 6:45, Kanye West pulls up. Kanye West walks in the building. Everybody's like, oh, Mr. Class. Oh, Mr. Class. They kissing up now. It's like, this guy must be somebody important because Kanye West actually showed up to the session.
Okay.
So we get there. We talked. We never even got anything done. He just showed up and we talked. And, she let me know, man, I love the sound. We definitely got to connect, whatever kind of stuff you make. He listened to a lot of beats. He heard what I had to offer. He's like, yeah, man, this B-more sound is dope. I've been wanting to do some B-more shit forever. But, if you can't beat them, why not join them? I was like, okay, well, shit. Well, I'm here. Whatever you want to do. You say, I'd rather not try to do the B-more shit, let you do it. We can work on some stuff together. So at that point, he then invited me to Hawaii. A lot of people don't know that when he was messing with Amber Rose, she lives in Hawaii.
Got you.
So he found a studio he trusts in Hawaii, and that's where he recorded most of the time. The Dark Twisted album, that's where he recorded that. Watch the Thrones, some of that he recorded there as well.
Got you.
So he invited me. So in between shows, I would go down there and I would, record with Kanye West. Help out when I can, through a bass drum, with snares, anything I can to just kind of help out. And if he saw something like as a whole song, he'll take it and use it. And the vibe was that, the vibe was definitely that, But he had signs all over the place saying, yeah, we're looking to do something different. We're looking to do dance, but no Gaga. That was the sign. That was the big word in the sign, no Gaga. We're not doing nothing that sounds like some Lady Gaga shit.
Got you.
So I gave him the session. We sitting there, we working on it. I added a little piece to the front of it. Then the next morning I came back, he had done it. I don't know if he done it in the studio, at his place, whatever. But when I came back the next day, he let me hear it, and it was done. I was like, wow. So once again, another moment where it's like, man, you can't tell me nothing. I just recorded a song with Kanye West. Are you serious? The Lil Jon version is doing well. Now I got this Kanye West version. So if I listen to it, I'm listening like, wait a minute, who's this? So not only did he jump on the song, he got Estelle to jump on the song. And she did what she did. So again, I'm like ecstatic. So I'm ready to put this thing out. Something happened with the business with Universal and Kanye West, so it never came out as the official. But he ended up dumping it out there anyway.
Right.
That's why it got where it got. It got pretty big, so much so that people were kind of turned off at the Lil Jon version because they wanted the Kanye West version. But
okay,
that's how that. Then Pitbull came along and Fat Man Scoop did a version of it. Me and Fat Man Scoop just worked on a record too. So from that experience, I got a chance to meet him. He and I, we like super tight, man. We talk all the time. We get records popping as much as we can.
Wow.
Just on some brotherhood shit.
Right.
Fat Man Scoop, yeah.
Okay, so Phenomenon, I Am the Ish, right?
Yes.
So you followed that up with 2 more songs, Dance Like a Freak and I Don't Give a Fuck. Talk to me about these.
So Dance Like a Freak, I think Dance Like a Freak would have been a much bigger record. It did well. Dance Like a Freak would have been a much bigger record. But at that point, I don't know what happened between Unruly and myself. I kind of know some of it. I had a direction for where I wanted to go, but they had a direction for where they wanted me to go. And we just had differences. So at a time where we could have went and promoted Dance Like a Freak, it made it a big record with a big video. Unruly left the situation. They didn't want to continue on with that. And it just felt like it was a wrap for me. And from there, I just kept pushing. Kanye West even wanted to get on that. But then, of course, that situation, I think Universal was more like, we paid all this money to Lil Jon, and now we got this Kanye West version of I'm the Ish. How are we going to make good with Dance Like a Freak? So it did well. Not as good as I'm the Ish, but it did well. And, you know, never got a chance to shoot an official video. I just went to L.A., connected with some models that I know. This one model girl that I know, we kind of just shot something in a hotel room. It was pretty dope, though. I thought it was dope. I Don't Give a Fuck record was unrolling. They finally came back and was like, we want to use this record and put it up. Because I Don't Give a Fuck was a record I did before I did On the Ish.
Okay.
You know, it was a record I did before that. So, without too much to say, I just say, yeah, y'all can go ahead and use it. Just go ahead and use it. And I don't know what the numbers are on it. I like the record. They like the record. They had a 25th anniversary EP that they put it on, and you know, so I still don't know what the numbers are on that. But yeah, after that, after I Don't Give a Fuck, and after Dance Like a Freak, I did a good deal of records after that. I finally did an official record with Jermaine Dupri after that called Favorite DJ. Clint Sparks featuring me and Jermaine Dupri.
Right,
if you haven't heard that, you got to look it up. It's a pretty dope record.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was my next question for you. I wanted you to talk to me about, I know you produced the record for Pitbull, I believe, and then you did the song with Clinton Sparks and Jermaine Dupri, Favorite DJ. Talk to me about that.
So, Favorite DJ was just one of the things where I was at South by Southwest, ended up meeting up with Clinton Sparks. I was supposed to perform one day. He was performing the day before, and just asked me to jump on stage with him. And we got pretty cool. I realized he was in Boston, so I ended up going out to meet him a couple times, and we decided to work on a record. So that part was that. And I think it did pretty well, too. And that was also a time where Jermaine Dupri was trying to get into the dance sound as well. So it was a good look for him, you know.
Right.
Great look for me. You know, I was the one that needed all of the help. So, you know, at that point we did that. Song I did with Pitbull, pretty much the same. It's funny how I end up in Phoenix. I came out here because every year they do a thing called Powerhouse. They don't do it anymore, but they used to do Powerhouse, you know, Summer Jam. So I came out here, I did the Summer Jam, and I met a gentleman named I met this dude named DJ Buddha. Do you know DJ Buddha?
I do not, no.
Okay, DJ Buddha is one of the producers of the song Gasolina.
Okay, got you, yes.
But also, Buddha also was the producer of most of Pitbull's records on like the when he started getting into the dance music.
Right, got you.
That was DJ Buddha. So introduced me to Buddha. Me and Buddha got tight. Buddha was the one they was like, if you to get on these records, just see Buddha. Buddha would let me know what's going on, and that's how that went. I ended up doing a song called Juice Box, and Pitbull was like, man, I love this song. So he put that on his album. He put that on the Revolution album. But then he ended up calling me back. I did a record with this young lady named Monica Rush called Drinks for You. The girl wrote the song. It was pretty cool, but we never really did anything with it. And one day, Buddha's like, man, just send me anything you got. Whatever you got, just send it. So I sent the record. I was like, Pitbull is a dance stuff. He might like it. About a year later, after I sent him the record, he called me back and said, yeah, we kind of like this Drinks for You record, but we want to take the girl off. I was like, you want to take the girl off the record? Well, I guess we can keep the girl on and we'll tell Jennifer Lopez never mind. I was like, what? Buddha's real sarcastic like that, so he's
right.
very sarcastic like that. So I'm like, whoa. Ooh. He said, yeah, I'll send it to you. I sent it to you. He sent me the email. It was Pitbull and Jennifer Lopez.
Nice.
Pitbull had took the girl off. He rapped, and Jennifer Lopez was singing the hook. And the hook was, I done had a long week. Now it's time to celebrate. So I was really enthused that,
wow.
They took the words to I'm the Ish, and Jennifer Lopez sang that part as the hook.
Dope.
Yeah, I was just on the floor. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe it. So
it's another moment.
I got credit for it. Yeah, another moment. Another one of those moments, man.
Right.
So, yeah, so all the time, it's really just been that. The ride has been, it's always something that pops up that's like, I can't believe I've done it. Humbly to myself, like, wow.
Right, right. Well,
I got something I can tell my grandkids,
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on all those things, because the ride has been a great one, and now the ride brings us right here. So now, talk to me about the new single that you have called The Birthday Anthem with Frank Ski.
Man, listen. The Birthday Anthem, let me tell you how that came about. I'm on Instagram one day, and I'm just playing around trying to promote the album that I got, which is going to be coming out next year. The album that I have is called Algorithms.
Okay, got you.
With a Y. So yeah, Algorithms. And I'm talking to Frank like, hey man, you know, I called him one day just to say, you know what, man, I just want to let you know I appreciate you, man. Can you believe that we're the only two artists out of Baltimore that do Baltimore club music that ever hit the Billboard charts? And both of us hit the pop charts. We were both in the top 100.
Wow.
Do you know how many songs comes out in a year? And we both had an opportunity to be on the top 100. So I was just like, man, congratulations.
Absolutely.
I said, man, we got to get some more work done. We got to get some more work done. So here I am, just making beats, throwing them out there. I have a thing on my website. So my website is djclassmusic.com. And what I did, and I'm starting it up again. Every month I'd make a new B-more track, and I give it away.
Okay, got you.
Something simple, not too heavy. I'll make a B-more track, and I give it away. So he heard one of the tracks and said, "Nah, I need this." Okay. I said, it's called Run It. What you want to do? So we made like a B-more version of Run It, which is out now. But then he said, you know what? You need to step it up a notch. Let's do a birthday anthem. So I'm like, look, you better give it that wobble stank, man. Put that wobble stank on it, man.
Right.
So he starts off, oh, yo, this is Frank Ski and my man DJ Clay. And he goes in and basically he's just chanting about birthdays. You know, which people ain't really done a birthday song in a while. Just a straight up B-more birthday song. Hadn't been done in a while.
Wow.
So energy, the new stuff that he's got going on, you know, because of the WAP and all of the stuff he's got popping. Like, hey, man, let's go ahead and do some more. So we plan on doing an EP.
Incredible. Okay. So the name of the song is called The Birthday Anthem, featuring Frank Ski, DJ Class. It's out now. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It's out now.
Got you.
Anywhere.
Got you. So, you know, anyone could get it. Spotify, all the streaming platforms, iTunes, whatever, right?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So aside from the new single, what new projects are you working on? Is there an album coming? I know you just said that, you know, is this song going to be on the album? Talk to me about the album.
So algorithms is going to be a little different. What I'm trying to tap into is my more melodic side. Even though it's digital, it's going to give you a little EDM feel. It's definitely going to be big sound, you know, big compared to the other B-more sounds where it's a lot of grunge. But yeah, Birthday Anthem's going to be on it. I did a song with Fat Man Scoop called Fuck It Up. That's also going to be on it, which we're working on the EP too separately. So EP with Frank, EP with Fat Man Scoop, and of course my album, Algorithms. But yes, I do a lot of singing on it, man. So don't get mad. I'm on my Drake shit.
Okay, so wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. So you rap, produce, DJ, and now you telling me you sing.
A little bit. I'm no singer, but trust me, it's going to sound good when you hear it.
Okay, I'm with you. All right, go ahead.
but yeah, so it's going to be a whole lot more melodic. I'm taking a lot of the Jersey aspect as well. So I'm speeding up my B-more club just a little bit. I'm doing a lot of harmonies. I got some good people that's getting involved with me for the project. Like I said, I got Frank Ski, I got DJ Buddha, I got Fat Man Scoop, and I'm also you know, I got some surprise ones as well that, you know, I don't want to speak yet till I get some paperwork. But
got you.
Yeah, it's gonna be melodic. It's gonna have that sound to it. It's gonna have some hard stuff. It's gonna have some like some stuff that could remind you of R&B sped up a little bit. It's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be a really good project with a good story to it. You know.
Wow. Okay. So let me get this straight. So you have an album coming out called Algorithms. That's your album. Yes. And then the Birthday Anthem with Frank Ski is going to be on you and Frank's EP. Is that right?
Yes, it'll be on both. It'll be on my album, but also on Frank's.
Okay,
me and Frank's EP as well.
Okay, got you. So you got Algorithms, which is your album. Then you're going to have an EP coming out with Frank Ski, an EP coming out with Fat Man Scoop. Okay, so those are three projects that the DJ Class will be releasing 2021, 2022, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so now really quickly, would you say the difference between Jersey and B-more club music is just the tempo? Is that the difference? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's the tempo, but also let me tell you what Jersey did that we did not do. What Baltimore did with the Baltimore club sound is we made records. All right, we made records, and then there's the culture. what Jersey did was they sped it up a little bit, I'm sure, just to be able to differentiate. And they infused the music, the records with the culture. So you don't see very much Jersey club music without a dance, without music, without some kind of visual. The Baltimore club producers would just put it out. It's still just music, and people can do with it as they may.
Okay, gotcha.
Jersey club got dances attached. They have stuff like that attached. And that's a wonderful thing. They was able to build it the way they built it. So now you can tell the difference between them both. But yeah, Jersey club is a little faster. B-More club is about 130. Jersey club is about 140. So it's that much of a difference. It's a big difference.
Got you. Okay, I'm with you. Because, with house music, you have deep house, you have acid house, you had, I guess, club house. You just got house music coming from Detroit, Baltimore. I'm sorry, Detroit, Afro house, right? Detroit, you got Chicago. And then now for B-More club music, it's a little bit more raunchy, a little bit more hip-hop influence fast, right?
Right.
And then you got Jersey that's even way faster. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You got Jersey's way faster. So, yeah, their whole thing is they dance, man. And B-More got dancers, too, because, mind you, Jersey, I'm not letting Jersey off the hook. They got most of their dance styles from B-More. They did.
Gotcha.
But they've taken it to a whole different level.
Gotcha.
A whole different level.
Okay, cool. Because I'm familiar with it all, but I like to break it down because there's so many different styles, within the subcultures of what we call club or house music, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what would you say is the future because you come from this? What would you say is the future for B-More club music?
I'd say the future for B-More club music is actually putting together songs. Have you heard of an artist named TT, the artist?
I have not.
Okay, look her up. TT, just TT.
Okay.
The artist. She's really originally from Florida, but she lived most of her life in Baltimore.
Okay, gotcha.
This young lady, when I say she's doing it, man, she's doing it right now. She put out a movie this year about B-More called Dark City Beneath the Beat.
Oh, okay.
It's on Netflix.
Got you. Yeah, I've heard about that. I haven't had a chance to see it. Okay.
Executive produced by Issa Rae.
Got you. I'm with you. Okay.
She's really doing it. She got a song out right now with I can't remember the girl's last name, but she's a twin. Her name's Chloe.
Yes, absolutely.
The two girls from the TV show.
Yes.
So she's got a song out right now, and she produced it. The girl TT the artist produced the record. Her and a dude named Mighty Mark. Mighty Mark's a B-More producer as well. Does B-More club and all that. So she's got the movie out. Now the girl Chloe's got a song that's viral right now. You may have even heard it. It's a song where it's called Booty So Big.
Yes.
Booty so big, Lord have mercy. Work it. Yeah, that's TT the artist. Her and Mighty Mark produced that record.
Wow. Okay, so, got you.
If you hear that, that's the direction where Baltimore Club is going. Even though it was a Baltimore Club record that they changed it was a record before that with TT rapping on it. Chloe got on it, and now they changed it. It's more R&B, but it's got the B-More feel to it as well. Right. But that's where we're going, and that's why I wanted to do algorithms the way I'm doing it. More singing, more verses, more hooks, more things where it's more melodic, where it's not so raunchy. That's where Baltimore club music is going right now. More people are going to start doing stuff with melodies. They're going to move away from the Lil Jon samples and just kind of give it those harmonies and get singers singing on Baltimore club music because don't many people sing on it.
Got you. Okay. Got you. Okay, no, that's incredible, and it makes so much sense. That's why I wanted to ask you that question. So, so what's in the future for DJ Class?
So, along with doing that, I'm looking forward to finding young new artists in that direction, because I'm always going to be to make a beat, but I'm not always going to be to jump around on stage. I mean, I'm 50 now, so
okay, got you.
I came hard and say, damn.
Right.
I'm 50 now, so it's like I just I'm looking for new young artists that's willing to take the baton and go forward, and that's like making this Baltimore club music more melodic, more singing, more. I'll tell you who used to do it, and he started making records, but Tap used to do it, but also K-Life. I don't know if you know who K-Life is. K-Life is a Baltimore a legend, if you will.
Yes. Singing
on club records. He was one of the ones that sang on the record, I Puff a Lot of Weed. Come on, baby, put your booty in his face. He's that guy, So he's one of the guys who used to do a lot of singing on the records. And I thought we were going there then. That's what back in the 90s. But now that's where we're going. We're going more towards the singing and not so much rapping and just screaming hooks.
Got you. Okay, I'm with you. So what inspires DJ Class in 2021 musically?
Musically, just being more creative sonically. That's what excites me, when somebody's able to bring out a whole new sound that is not like anything else. And that's really across the board, any genre, not just Baltimore club, but any genre. When you can make up some new sounds and do something creative, that definitely perks my interest. You know, being able to have a whole new something. Like, I know when people didn't always get with Trinidad James when he first came out, but I thought that shit was amazing.
Okay.
I thought it was amazing because it was so different.
Got you. Okay.
He really didn't slow the tempo down. He slowed that sucker down. It was already slow. He half times that and rapped on it. I thought it was amazing.
Right. I got you. Okay. So in closing, as a DJ, how do you feel the progression has happened for the DJ? I mean, from your beginnings, until now. I mean, look at everything that, has happened from hip hop, house infusions, and then, EDM and the technology and everything infused with the DJ and the culture. How do you feel things have progressed as a DJ? Because you're still a DJ.
Yes, I'm still a DJ. So I got mixed feelings on that. I'm going to tell you from two different standpoints. From a professional, sure. I love the fact that we progress. We don't have to carry crates anymore. The fact that people are open to hearing new music. From my personal standpoint, we don't fight. We don't search for new music enough. We do, but not enough. Back in the day, you could go to a club. 80s, 90s, you go to a club and hear something you've never heard before, and if it sounds good, it simply sounds good. That's it. Now, there's so many politics around it. So many. Oh, well, if such and such would have did this record, it would have been, or, oh, well, the beat's cool, but it doesn't really fit with these other records. It's like so many politics behind it. And it's really the young folks that do that. We don't do that as older folks. If it's got a groove, we like it. Younger folks are so picky about what it is they listen to, and that's only because they have so much access to it. Think about back in the day, all you had was radio, or you had the nightclub. That's where you heard your music. You heard it on the radio, or you heard it at the club. Here, you can listen to and access music anywhere.
Right.
And because of that, it's no different than a place. Like, imagine if you lived in a place where, which some people do. Some people live in a place where it's so much shrimp and lobster in the ocean that that's all they eat. So they don't value shrimp and lobster the way someone like me do. Living in Phoenix, where we don't have a coast. We don't have an ocean. We don't have a body of water where we can fish like they can.
Right.
So for me, shrimp and lobster is a big deal. Someone who lives up under shrimp and lobster, don't give a damn about shrimp and lobster. They can go out and get it any morning they want. They sick of shrimp and lobster.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel kids are today. The young crowd, especially the movers and shakers, the tastemakers that's moving music around, they got so much music, they don't know what to do with it.
Right.
And they turn down so much. I've heard so many good records that just won't see the light of day.
Got you.
They won't see the light of day. As a DJ, they will never see the light of day. And I've never cleared a dance floor. However, I got some records that are damn sure move the needle down a little bit because I like it, and the crowd don't fuck with it.
Got you. Okay.
That bothers me a little bit. And then the fact that anybody could just go buy a $250 controller, gather some music,
right,
and now they're a DJ.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. And that's the reason why, I always like to ask, because, I mean, you've done so many things in your career, accomplishments and artists and collaborations and produced, and hit records, you know what I mean? But you're still a DJ. You started out DJing, and I'm sure you still DJ. So I just wanted to know, what your perspective was before we end out. You know what I mean?
Yes, man, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no question about it, no question. So, DJ Class, what is one of your most memorable moments in your career at this point? Now, I know you're going to create a lot of new memories, but at this point, what's the most memorable moment for you?
I think I'm going to have to send you the link, man. Scotty B was invited to go to DJ in Paris, Malmo, Sweden, and Frankfurt. And he invited me. I don't know why he invited me, but he invited me. So once he told them that I was going to be there, of course they know the records. This is way before like Dance Like a Freak and I'm Ish and all that. All I really had was Tear the Club Up.
Okay.
That was the big record for me then. We got there, man, and I had a good time. We DJ'd at a place called the Social Club. Scotty did the set. I was like his MC. I broke into these songs, and the crowd was just like, they loved it, man. They absolutely loved it. We went to Malmo. Like the next couple days after that, there was a guy named Sweet Fred. Sweet Fred, he had, which is weird, it's crazy, he had confetti, he had light shows, and he had pyrotechnics. He had smoke, fire. He had everything. And when I started singing Tear the Club Up, it was like it was New Year's Day in there. And it was packed wall to wall. It's probably like 500 people. It's a small place, but it was packed.
Wow.
And my most memorable moment that me and Scotty, we got up there, we was winging it too. I had no show. I had no show. But we got up there and I sang that song, man, and it is, you can look it up. Go to YouTube and look up DJ Class in Paris. And I got footage of both of those shows. I think I put it all in like one video. But yeah, wow, in Malmo, we had a good ass time, man. We had a great time, and it was just like the crowd wanted autographs. I mean, I'd never done nothing like that.
Right.
Like autographs and the whole nine, you know. And again, it wasn't like we did a show. Wasn't supposed to be a show. But I got up there and I had the mic. I was his MC. We had a good time. We had a really good time.
Yeah, that sounds like an incredible moment. No question about it. So, congratulations to you. Sounded fun. So, DJ Clash, how can our listeners continue to follow you?
Okay. On my social media, I'm DJ Clash official on IG, Snapchat, everything really. If you type in DJ Clash official, everything will pop up. Also, my website, djclassmusic.com. DJClassmusic.com. I got free downloads on there. I got my entire catalog for people that want to buy or listen, whatever. Everything I do will be there. Also, people that's listening that want to book me, I could be booked from there. You want a beat, you want a verse, a hook, all that stuff. You can go in and inquire and even purchase right from the website, djclassmusic.com.
Wonderful. And the new single is out called The Birthday Anthem featuring Frank Ski and DJ Class.
Yes.
And we got 3 projects coming out. We got a full album called Algorithms, and we got an EP with Frank Ski and DJ Class coming, and an EP with Fat Man Scoop, correct?
That's correct.
Incredible, man. I can't wait to hear the music. It's gonna be so dope. So listen, DJ Class, it has been an honor to interview you for Vinyl Esquire. Vinyl Esquire is the DJ podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends, and you have been listening to the legendary DJ and producer from Baltimore, DJ Class.
Rip, I appreciate you, man, so much. Thank you so much.
Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, the podcast that delivers culture, truth, music.
What's up, Paris? How you feeling? It's Paris in the motherfucking house of what? Yo, check this out. We're gonna do it like this, alright? Alright, Scott, you ready for me? Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. If you came to get your life, tear the fucking club up. Westside, where the fuck you at? Let me see your hands up. If the DJ rockin' this bitch, if the DJ rockin' this bitch, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me see your hands up. If the DJ rockin' y'all ready to turn the club up or what? All right, check this out. I want to do a little something. What an honor dedicated to the ladies right now. Ladies, where you at? Put your hands up, ladies. Here we go, Scott.
This beat right here, from the West Side girls. Yeah, this beat right here, from the East Side pearls. Oh, yeah, we go.